Alright guys, welcome back to Hyrule Warriors. Last time we met in Hyrule Warriors, well, Ganondorf got the Triforce of courage and wisdom from Zelda and Link, and now we're actually going to be seeing the aftermath of that whole fiasco because, I mean, if you expected this game to end with Link and the others losing, I don't think you've played a Zelda game before. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, if this was the original Wii U version, assuming you didn't have Sia's Tail, this would actually be like right before the end of the game. And this is actually kind of a major criticism I have with this story is that there's a lot of points where it could have just ended, and it doesn't. It kind of feels like Skyward Sword to me, where there's so many chances where it could have ended, but it just chooses not to because of Zelda traditions. Like, usually Zelda stories have like two parts. The first half is, Link, gathering, the mandatory MacGuffin of like the first part. Like, Link to the Past was getting the three charms, or whatever they were called. And then the second half was getting the sages. The culmination was like the midpoint, like the turning point of the story was when Link got the Master Sword, almost always. Twilight Princess beginning, the first half is dedicated to him getting the few shadows. He gets the Master Sword, then he has to get the Mirrors of Twilight shards, and then he goes to fight Ganondorf. Skyward Sword is the worst, though. It has like three different things. Like, one is you gotta find Zelda. Two is then you gotta enhance the map. You gotta upgrade the Goddess Sword to be the Master Sword, and then you gotta find the Triforce, and then it's just all like it's three different objectives for it's three different plot threat, three different like major plot things for one Zelda game, and that's probably why it turned some people off. But that shouldn't. It's not. Skyward Sword has a lot of other things going against it. I don't want to go into another Skyward Sword rant, but I will if we have to. Um, but Hyrule Warriors. The first half is dedicated to defeating Sia. Cool. Okay, no, technically the first bit. So the first bit is dedicated to fighting Sia and her monsters. And then it becomes a multiverse thing where it's all about closing the Gate of Souls. Link then gets the Master Sword, which is then he defeats Sia, and then we continue on with the Ganondorf stuff. And it's like there were so many chances for this game to end, and for Legend Mode to end, and it just didn't. Like, there's probably going to be a point in this Let's Play, probably towards the end, where I'm going to be saying, oh my god, this Let's Play is still fucking going. Because it feels like it goes on forever. Especially when you have to consider that there's the Wind Waker, Sia's Tail, and Linkle's Tail. And luckily, all of those are different stories, so technically they're not the same story. Linkle's Tale has nothing to do with what's going on in the overarching story. Sia's Tale is mainly just expanding on what Sia was doing, how Sia rose to power and stuff like that. And then the Wind Waker stuff is just like a epilogue, I would say, is the best way to describe it. So I guess I should probably get into what's happening on screen for a second. So in this mission, so yeah, we're back in Gerudo Desert, but this time we're playing as Link, once again. And what's happening is whenever I step outside of the oasis, I don't know what the plural for oasis is. I think it's oasis. But if you step out of the oasis, like if you step out into the desert itself, you actually take constant damage until you capture the oasis in that section of the map. So make sure that is a priority, because it's not just you who loses health, it's all of your forces. And this time around, you have to make sure Lana and Zelda stay safe until the battles end. So, yeah. After Ganondorf got the Triforce, basically everybody was kicked out of Hyrule Castle. And now this mission is kind of dedicated to sort of getting some footing back in Hyrule. And our first order of business is defeating Zant and Ghirahim, the two servers of Ganon, because, if you take them out, you help take out Ganon a little bit. But you may have noticed that I fought Ghirahim, and first off, he was all, like, pale and stuff, and he ran away from me. Well, that's because that's not the real Ghirahim. They're tricking us. It's all just an elaborate thing. This is a very story-driven chapter. This one should not take too much of your time. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of the shorter parts, because looking at the playhead, we're almost already about halfway through this level. By the way, I do hate myself for using my old setup for post-commentary parts for right now, but it's mainly because I don't feel like going through all the editing right now. Okay, so what I started doing recently was exporting a version of the part where it has none of my commentary, and that where it has no commentary, obviously, just the raw part, and then I use Audacity to record my commentary for that part. And the reason I'm not doing that for this session, at least, is because, I'm just trying to, I'm just kind of speeding through it at this point. I feel a little lazy for doing it, but, I'd rather just kind of speed through it, especially considering that I accidentally screwed up in terms of editing the session. Because usually what I do is I leave the session, the rest of the session, I haven't made a part yet in the file, but I accidentally deleted it, so I am having to basically realign it. I keep forgetting to save because I'm an idiot, so that is just my own fault. You think I'm going to remember after this part? No, I'm not, because I'm stupid. But yeah. So, what can I talk about that's Zelda related? Tears of the Kingdom got AG Aonuma did a gameplay demo not too long ago. I have yet to watch it, though. I refuse to watch anything related to Tears of the Kingdom unless it's a trailer, because I do not want to spoil myself for gameplay. I know it's kind of stupid, but I really want to go into Tears of the Kingdom with really fresh eyes, because I really want to be able to experience the differences, what it brings to the Breath of the Wild formula, because, looking at, what they're teasing, the fact that we're going to be going to the skies of Hyrule, while also, still having the same exact map from the first Breath of the Wild game, it means that this game is going to be massive. And it's a pretty ambitious thing for a Zelda game. Like, I know I probably said something similar when Breath of the Wild came out, but this is on another level. And I look forward to Tears of the Kingdom. I truly do. Later in May, I can't wait. At the time of this recording, it's April. 1 month away from now, we're going to be getting Tears of the Kingdom. But right now, I'm waiting for the end of April because Jedi Survivor is almost on its way here, and I pre-ordered that because I loved Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm going to be playing the hell out of Survivor. In all honesty, I might not be able to play Tears of the Kingdom immediately, but I don't know yet. Oh yeah, so Lana is also faltering a little bit. She's I think having some morale issues because she just feels overwhelmed by the forces. But luckily, she calls in all the people that we recruited back in the multiversal stuff. Meaning that, does that mean the Gate of Souls things just never closed? Or what does that imply? No, seriously, I'm asking, but whatever. But yeah, now we can play as Darunia, Midna, and Fi. For some reason, we can't play as Gerudo and Agatha, because they showed up too. But in fact, I don't even think the game acknowledges them after that cutscene. But yeah, this mission's not that hard. It's just a story mission once again. I mean, technically all of them are story missions, but this one is like, yeah, I was looking at the forces. I'm like, wait, is Rudo in the forces? Because I don't see her. Oh, bullshit! I took those. I took those. What kind of Christopher Columbus bullshit is this? Like, they just went in and claimed it as theirs. What do you mean I did it first? Oh, it was a keep saboteur too. Yeah. But also at the time of this recording, the Mario movie, actually it's the night today's the night before the Mario movie comes out. So yeah, let's date this Let's Play, baby. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not going to see it until Thursday, so I will let you know my opinions of that when it comes. You know, I don't have many high hopes for the Mario movie. I'm not expecting it to be a cinematic masterpiece or anything like that. Honestly, I'm never really expecting anything to be cinematic masterpieces anymore. But, like, you know, I'm expecting some level of quality this time around. I know it's Illumination doing it. They're the same motherfuckers responsible for the Minions movies. And I believe, they did Boss Baby 2, right? Like, I'm not just saying Boss Baby 2. I'm talking about, like, the Boss Baby series. So that did concern me a little bit because Illumination has a bit of a reputation somewhat. But also I did hear that Nintendo themselves have kind of been on Illumination's ass about what they can do with the Mario IP and stuff like that. So I have faith that, you know, it turns out pretty good. I'm a little concerned at the fact that, I mean, obviously I am still concerned at the fact that Chris Pratt is voicing Mario. You know, okay, I know the meme is that Chris Pratt is voicing Mario, and, like, that's the big thing. But, like, in all honesty, I'm not a huge fan of all of the voice cast, if I'm being frank here. Like, I mean, some of the, like, a lot of them I just don't think really can... I don't know if they work. Okay, actually, I'm gonna rework my statement for a second. I wasn't a big fan of the cast. Originally, I did not like any of it because a lot of it threw red flags at me. And I like a lot of the people who are in the Mario movie. Like, I do like a lot of the people who are voicing in the Mario movie. Like, I do actually legitimately like some Seth Rogen. Like, I like some of Seth Rogen's roles, not all of them. Like, I love Keegan-Michael Key. I think he is a hilarious dude. Like, I love Key and Peele, and I love some of the movies he and Jordan Peele starred in together, like Keanu. But, like, I don't really know, is it Anna Taylor-Joy or Anya Taylor-Joy? I watched, like, bits and pieces of Queen's Gambit, and I hear she's a really good actress. So I'm not concerned about that about her by any means. And in fact, she sounds really good as Peach, I will be frank. And then Charlie Day, I don't really know anything about him. I never watched, it's Community, right? That's what he's from. I never watched that. So I don't really know much about Charlie Day. But, you know, listening to his Luigi, he was actually pretty good. But now it's really just Chris Pratt. Because he's the only character so far who just doesn't really seem to fit the role. Out of all the voice clips I have listened with him in it. Like the one in the beginning, in the first teaser trailer, which is, you know, where he says, Mushroom Kingdom, here we come, or whatever. And then he says the Wahoo at the end and all that. It didn't scream Mario to me. And I know that's not really fair to Chris. I would say that. By the way, you don't have to defeat Ghirahim and Zant at the same time. Well, obviously you're going to do it anyway because they're right next to each other. It's not that hard. But I don't think Chris Pratt really just screams Mario to me. And I know that probably shouldn't really be a critique or anything. I think that's more of a me thing. Because it might be my bias because I'm just so used to listening to Charles Martinet as Mario. You know, and it's just hard for me to hear someone else as Mario. That might be what it is. But, you know, I am willing to go into the movie, you know, with, you know, an open mind, because I usually go into movies nowadays with open minds, because with how quality of movies are wavering every 5 fucking minutes, you know, I'm willing to, you know, go into the movie expecting, you know, maybe Chris Pratt will be my favorite Mario voice ever. I doubt it, but, you know, I already ordered my ticket for the Mario movie after work on Thursday, because it's almost Easter weekend, first off, so I think it's a bad idea to go to a movie during that. And also, going to a kid's movie during the weekend is probably the worst idea you could possibly do, because kids, you know. I mean, I know it's a little weird for, you know, 23-year-old guy to go see a kid's movie, go out of his way to see a kid's movie, but it's nothing new to me at this point. I mean, I went out of my way to go see Sonic 2, so, and Sonic 1, but wow, did we really spend like 100% of this part talking about other things besides the actual, like, game we're playing? I think we managed to do it. Like, I think we went like 98% of this part talking about stuff that isn't related to Hyrule Warriors by any means whatsoever. But I mean, I did have that little rant at the beginning, I guess, so that counts for something. And then I had and I talked about some mechanics, but that's besides the point. But the next time we meet in Hyrule Warriors, I would say it's the finale, but I'm lying at this point, because we're going to be going into Ganon's tower and facing Ganon. But unfortunately, we are not ending the whole legend mode. We still got a few more things to do. But I'll see you guys next time, and take care.